Hello, everybody. Welcome. To Shadowrun, Hong Kong. Hi, Mini Mixie. New game, Shadowrun, Hong Kong. We are playing on normal difficulty. Let me create a character. Let's make it another lady. This time, let's go with... Actually, let's go human. And let's go with... Yeah, let's do that. Alright. Common. We know all this stuff. We need... Gang. And security, definitely. We're going to be building... Let's do... do that. Won't worry about decking. More body, more quickness, more ranged combat. Increase that. Just drinking water. And we'll need to make a name for our character. call her Anna Smith. A Harebrained Schemes production.
You have one new message.
Hong Kong Free Enterprise Zone, August 2056.
I hope I have the right number. Look, I know we haven't spoken in a while, but I need your help. Remember the day I took you and Duncan off the streets? I told you that the past is just a story, that if you can just accept that, your past loses all power over you. Yeah. I was wrong. I'm on my way to Hong Kong now, to finish something I should have faced a long time ago. And I need you with me. I know we're not blood, and we didn't leave things in a good place, but you and Duncan are the only real family I have. Please, if our past means anything to you, meet me in Hong Kong right away. I'll explain more when you get here.
Okay.
I'm begging you. I'm almost out of time.
Shadowrun, Hong Kong. Hard landing. Raymond Black. The old man gave you a home once. Took you and Duncan off the gang-ridden streets of the Barrens. Sheltered, educated, slapped sense into you both till you almost resembled productive members of society. And then you took off, left it all behind, landed behind bars for a time, tried to start a new life after that. It's been 8 years since you've heard Raymond's voice, until out of the blue you got this cryptic message, a plea for help. Meet me in Hong Kong right away. And wired to your account enough new yen to pay for the flight and then some. The descent is rough. A squall comes out of nowhere, sending a solid sheet of rain punching into the suborbital transport. With a ragged shudder, the plane finally skids to a halt at the edge of the Czech Lamkok tarmac. An hour and an interminable number of emotionless security checkpoints later, you hail a water taxi to Victoria Harbour. Hong Kong looms ahead, pulsing with energy. You step from the churning of the water taxi to the ponderous rocking of the docks, your stomach lurching at the transition. As soon as you're clear, the captain nods once and steers the small craft back into the harbour. The man never said a word, just handed you a worn brown duffel bag when you stepped on board filled with gear, some stiff new body armour, and a note. Better safe than sorry. D. Above, smog-thick clouds hang low in the sky, reflecting the lights of the city to a nauseating swirl. The wind changes direction more than once, creating a heady stew of aromas: diesel, sea salt, street food, and filth. It's all you can do to keep your in-flight meal where it belongs. The two figures stand waiting in the dim light of the pier. First is an orc, lean, with in-your-face muscles and a jaw made to break fists. The second is an elf, one hand resting casually against her hip. Raymond Black is nowhere to be seen. Whoa, don't you look like shit? Duncan Wood, closest thing you have to a brother. You haven't seen the man in 8 years, still as charming as ever. He grins. Green's not really your color, Anna. Doesn't go with the nice new armor I got you. As you open your mouth to respond, something shifts alarmingly in your stomach. A liquid, bubbling sensation. I don't know what you're talking about. Must be the harbor lights messing with you. Must be. Guess you've still got some of your old fortitude at least. Considering how much synthahol we used to put down, I'd be surprised if you couldn't handle a little chop. Anyway, we gotta go find Raymond. Find Raymond? I thought he'd be here. He never showed up. He's still got that same baritone rasp. He had it since he was 12. We developed early. When was the last time you saw him? A few weeks ago, before I got this message telling us to meet him here. I'd been working a lot, so I hadn't been by the house in a while. The house still the same? Is Mrs. Maloney still cleaning up a trail of pipe tobacco in his wake? The orc bows his head. Mrs. Maloney's dead, Anna. 3 years ago. Bad ticker. I couldn't hire another housekeeper after that. Kinda creeped them out. Creeped them out? His voice sounds far away. Raymond hasn't been himself in a long time. How so? He's been restless, staying in his study, inside his own head a lot, and he barely sleeps anymore. I've been worried about him, but I haven't figured out what to do about it. He looks up at you and shrugs. And I didn't have a sister to turn to. Hell, wasn't too sure you were even still alive, until Raymond managed to track down your number. The woman standing beside him breaks in. You should get going, Duncan. Head back to the meeting point in case your dad shows up. Copy that, Sarge. They're wearing Lone Star body armor. Looks like Duncan Wu's gone private police. Sarge? The woman taps her chest with an armored finger. Carter, Seattle Lone Star. I'm Duncan's partner. And superior officer. She grins. Now they don't carry my coffee for me sometimes. Write my parking tickets. That kind of thing. I figured I could use some backup. Didn't know what Raid gotten himself into. I wasn't sure you were going to show up. It's a tossed off remark, but there's an undercurrent of resentment in it. Of course I showed up. Yeah, well, I wasn't so sure, you know? Shakes his head. You look. I'm glad you're here, Anna. Seriously. But I'm gonna need some time to get used to having you around again. Been a while since I heard from you, you know what I mean? Memories of sleepless nights in the lockup flash by, wondering if you'd ever see Duncan or Raymond again. Wondering if you even wanted to. And then stepping out into the daylight, suddenly free, a fallout of some obscure corporate restructuring. A few $100 million worth of apology from your former jailers, and a decision to start a new life. Leave the past behind. All of it. Until now. I know I've been out of touch. Wu stares at you, his goggles reflecting the harbour lights. You could say that, yeah. He scans the world front, frowning. Let's just find Raymond. He was supposed to meet us in the plaza on the other side of this pier. The sooner we're fighting, the sooner you can all have a big, happy family reunion over dinner. Carter grins. And the sooner I can find a place to get a drink around here. Damn right. Ahead of you, Hong Kong rises serpent-like from the sea. Government and megacorp coiled together, writhing in their basket of institutionalized corruption. No one can tell where the snake's body ends and its tail begins. And that's what Raymond used to say. Duncan turns and starts down the pier. Carter follows. The guard shack at the end of the pier is dark and empty. Duncan gives the gate a push, but it doesn't budge. Well, that was open earlier. Duncan frowns. Looks pretty solid. Shouldn't there be someone here to let us out or something? Yeah, smells a little funny, don't it? Carter shrugs. Who knows? It's Hong Kong. I'm not exactly sure how things work around here. Come on, Ricky. We can cut through the construction site. I heard it when you called me that. The gate is locked, but the nearby control panel appears accessible. Carter pulls it open with a metallic screech that pierces your skull, sending a new wave of pain down onto your channing stomach. He examines the control panel for a moment, then throws Wu a backward glance. Looks like there's another way off the docks on the other side of this gate. I think that I can bypass the lock. Carter fiddles with some wires and the door lock hisses open. Got it. Let's go. The group on the dock was fishing a package out of a speedboat when you surprised them. Now the package is at the bottom of the bay, and the speedboat is disappearing into the distance. They close on you, red-faced and yelling. The light of the harbour glints off of their weapons as they approach. The leader shouts something in Cantonese, but it's too fast to make out. You're rusty. It's been years since Raymond's house and a language lesson that wouldn't end. The old man never spoke anything but his native language at home. Wu speaks with authority. His Cantonese is as solid as ever. He never let it drop. You guys doing some late night fishing? The smuggler smiles. Oh yeah, we're fishing for assholes. Wu points at their weapons. You're gonna need some better bait. All you're gonna catch with that is trouble. We're just passing through. Why don't you put the guns away? Their spokesman laughs, looks at his crew. Hey, you talk good Cantonese, baby. Real authentic. Keeps laughing. Actually, you just told me you're gonna crap a gun. Wu flashes his badge. Lone Star, put the guns down. The smuggler squints at Wu's badge, then smiles at his friends. Never seen a badge like that before. Either it's fake or you're some kind of security guard. He grasps his rifle. Either way, this ends the same. I think he's done talking. Alright. Get over there. Get over there. Get over there. Get right there. Good. Reloading. And just quickly run through. Another gate panel. This one's been vandalized and busted up good. A real nightmare of a repair job. Wu stares at the fence, considering. Loops and whirls of razor wire glitter in the lamplight. Looks edged with monofilament. Corporations here don't screw around. Guess that we'd better find another way through. Duncan nods his agreement. Think you can get the gate open, Carter? She winks at him. What do you think? She eyeballs the job. It'll take me a few minutes though. Frowning, she leans in to get a closer look at the mangled fuse box. A few seconds later, she starts pulling wires and yanking fuses, a look of intense concentration on her face. She's competent. In Cantonese, Anna. Sounds like Raymond when he does that. She is competent. I know. She runs the road squad I'm assigned to. He continues in Cantonese. We speak only Cantonese from now on, just like we did when we lived at Raymond's. Those endless drills are about to pay off. Just like at Raymond's. He nods once, satisfied, then turns his back and scans the horizon. At least you can still handle yourself in a fight. So you're Lone Star now, huh? He was back still to you. That's right. Aren't you wondering what I've been up to for the last 8 years? He's still giving you his back? Nope. Silence between you gets louder, heavier, and is broken by a sudden wailing screech, whose hand goes to his holster. The screech is replaced by the sound of grinding wheels. Glancing over to the console, you see Carter grinning back at you. Got it. The light from the nearby vendor stall stabs into your eyes, triggering a throbbing ache in the back of your skull. You stop short, squinting as rough voices drift on the wind. Where's everyone else? Where's the damn shipment? We haven't seen them yet. We just got here. The voice becomes irritated. Long ways probably waiting for us. So we can haul it out of the boat for him. That lazy bastard. Let's just get out of here. Let him find us. Carter keeps her voice low. Looks like we're on a stroll through Smuggler Central. These gangers don't know we're here. We could probably just slip past. Or we could clip them. They're already looking for us. Might be better to take them out now, while we've got the element of surprise on our side. Crossing the street, you can make out 4 shadowy figures loitering in the plaza ahead. Troll, orc, dwarf, elf. 2 men, 2 women. They're different from the smugglers on the dock. Alert, poised, professional. You can see they've made a token attempt to conceal their weapons. The unspoken message is clear. We're strapped. Mind your manners. Lewis stands up tall, takes that amused tone he gets whenever he's standing toe-to-toe with someone bigger. Someone who doesn't know they're about to go down. Evening, folks. You got permits for those bazookas? The thick troll puts his mouth into a comic frown. Permits? Give me a minute. He makes a show of patting his pockets. Nope, guess not. Must have dropped mine in a dumpster. Along with the last idiot who stepped to us. Hello. Beer here. Inky Dusks. Enkidu. Alright, Enkidu is great. Enkidu is great. The best friend of Gilgamesh. How are we doing today? How are you? A little bit. I finished Shadowrun Returns yesterday, and now I'm doing Shadowrun Hong Kong. They're basically the only 2 I've got. I know there's also Dragonfall, but I haven't got that yet. Yeah, I've only just started Hong Kong. Well then, you can almost feel Lou's cop training kicking. Yeah, that's the one I was playing yesterday. That was actually a lot of fun. I've actually played a lot of screw a lot of harebrained schemes as games. I think I've got most of them. What is it that they've got? Harebrained schemes. Yeah, I've got Lamplighters League, Battletech. Lamplighters League is also on my background. I love Battletech. I've got most of the Mech Warriors. I've got a I've got a clan. Um, I've got a Wolf Dragoon Assault Star. It's got an Annihilator. Uh, what mix? What mix did it have? Annihilator, Timberwolf, a Rifleman, Archer, and Blackjack. Keeping an eye on Graft. Uh, what's Graft? That is very. That's very unique. Kind of gives me a little bit of like Dead Space vibes. Yeah, Dead Space, Resident Evil sort of thing. I'll have to give it. I'll have to look at the trailer um, later, get a proper feel for it. I'm curious. Funnily enough, I've never played a Resident Evil. I've played Dead Space, all three of them, and the mobile version, and the terrible Alone in the Dark, and the original Alone in the Dark. And that's about as far as my survival horror goes. I actually had a lot of fun with Dead Space. All of them. Dead Space 3, 2, and 1. Number 2 I found to be much scarier than number 1. Oh yeah. He reaches for his rifle, brings it up quick, but it's too late. By the time it hits shoulder level, an assortment of nasty-looking ordnance is already trained on his head. Carter backs him up. She whips her arms forward, fists blazing with magical fire. Her eyes sweep the scene, darting from one figure to another. Alright everyone, just be cool. The thick troll's voice is casual, amused. He shakes his gun in Wu's face. A little late for that, isn't it? I'm gonna put my hands in my pockets. Listen, guys, my stomach's doing somersaults. How about we all put our guns away before someone gets hit or hurt? The thick troll snorts a laugh. That guy looks like he could use an enema. Something we can do for you, officer? Yeah, Dead Space was fun. Especially once you got to a certain point where nothing was really a threat anymore. Wu's jaw tightens, but his tone stays cool and controlled. I'm looking for an old man, Raymond Black. We were supposed to meet him here. You know him? The troll nods his enormous head. Mm-hmm. Wu's voice gets an edge. You can see a vein in his temple start to pulse. Where is he? Carter sees it too, keeps her voice neutral. Easy, Duncan. The troll maintains amused eye contact, but his weapon stays trained on Wu. That's right. Easy, Duncan. Your friend Raymond never showed. We've been waiting for the better part of an hour. Who are you? The guy is Duncan. No one you want to mess with. The old girl chimes in. Her tone is light. She's trying to defuse the situation. We do our jobs for money. So you were his tour guides, right? The troll's yellow-brown tusks shift into a smile again. Kinda, yeah. The old man hired us to take you all on an excursion. Wu's brow furrows. Hired you? He takes a moment, looks them over. They're not a Solomon, a cybered-up troll, an orc girl with magical fetishes, a dwarf with a cyber deck slung on her back, a tall elf standing behind them, quietly inscrutable, all with guns trained on Wu. Understanding spreads across Wu's face. His jaw tightens. You're Shadowrunners. The troll nods. Mm-hmm. Wu's shoulders creep up. His stance tightens. This is bullshit. Raymond would never hire Shadowrunners. They're criminals. The troll corrects him. Mercenary operatives. I can never remember if Shadowrun was also an actual tabletop RPG. I'm pretty sure it was. The dwarf cuts in. Her voice is soft but strong. Criminal mercenary operatives. So yeah, you're right. Your buddy Raymond was associating with a bunch of hardened criminals. The troll tosses Wu a sideways smile while staring down the barrel of his gun. Sorry to burst your bubble, Lone Star. Guess you didn't know the old man as well as you thought, huh? Yeah, I want to get my hands on that rule book as well. I've got so many tabletop RPGs. There's so many good ones. Wu tries to shake it off, but he's struggling to process the information. You can feel the heat coming off of him. The runners sense it too, and they tense up tight. They're keyed on Duncan, and their guns are big. The looks on their faces make it clear. One wrong bead of sweat and Wu's going down in a red mist cloud. Carter remains completely still. Her voice is level, moderate. She's done this before. Let's all stay focused. No need for this to get ugly. She speaks quietly to Wu, who listens without turning, his focus squarely on the troll. We need to find Raymond. These are the people who can help us do that. What were you hired to do? You can tell the orc girls had enough of the tension. She blurts it out. The old man wanted us to take him into Kowloon Walled City. She waves a hand at the three of you. You too. The two large rats clinging to her hip and shoulder poke their heads out of the folds of her clothing. They fix their beady eyes on you intently. You know the Walled City? Slum, right? I've heard of it. The girl sneers, rolling her eyes. It's a shithole. The worst slum in the Eastern Hemisphere. Memories of growing up in the Redmond Barrens flash through your mind. We get it. It's a real bad place. Now why would a little old man pay you to take him there? Dwarf standing next to her nods and jumps in. Wouldn't say. He mumbled a lot too. Just kept rambling on and on about how he had to get in. Under ordinary circumstances, I never would have accepted the gig. The Walled City's the last place I want to go. But the old man rolled up a truckload of new yen, and you gotta eat, right? Wu risks a glance at you. His weapon remains trained on the Shadowrunners, but a flicker of uncertainty plays across his face. Interesting story. Seems like a good time to ramp down the threat of violence, don't you think? The troll flashes you a smile that's all tusks and no warmth. Okay, gang, I'll tell you what. He looks at his team as he slowly starts to lower his weapon. We're all gonna put our guns down. No, Carter. The sound of high caliber rifle shots hangs in the air, and the red dots of laser sights sweep the area. Carter, the troll, and the silent elf lie dead in widening pools of blood, their heads broken open like melons dropped from a four-story building. The orc girl screams from cover. Nightjar! Nightjar, come on, big man, talk to me. Got shot? No. She turns to the dwarf, her eyes wild with fear. Oh shit, this isn't good. A voice blares out from a loudspeaker. This is the police. Lay down your weapons, put your hands behind your head, and come out where we can see you. Duncan Wu, Anna Smith, come out where we can see you. You have 3 seconds. Duncan crouches behind cover, his gaze locked on Carter's corpse. His voice comes out in a hoarse roar. Stand down, damn it. I am law enforcement. Lone Star. Lone Star. He's driven deeper into cover by a hail of gunfire. The dwarf shakes her head at him. Her voice is flat. Save your breath. They won't listen. Use your eyes. These bastards aren't here to make arrests. A sniper shot hits the wall next to her head, showering her in an explosion of plaster. We need a way out of here, now. Everyone pipe down. Just give me a minute. The rat girl stares at the ground intently as if listening. Then her brow furrows, her eyes go beady, and her nose wrinkles up. She begins to sway back and forth, her lips moving soundlessly. She snaps out of her trance. Okay, I've got a way out. It's at the end of the street. Everyone come with me. Everyone? We don't need to rent a cops, gobbit. We're the only ones. The little orc whips her head towards her friend. Their extra firepower is, I got us an exit, but we've got to get past the heat. And we can't shoot our way down out of this on our own. If nothing else, they can soak up a few rounds for us. She turns to you, her pupils pinpricks of intensity. Just stick to cover and keep close. There's a door down the street that leads to a back alley. That's our exit point. You fall behind, you get left behind. Alright. Get over there. Good. Get over there. Deactivate the drones. Switch. Get over there. Reloading. Good. Get over there. Fly over there. Getting get rid of you. And gonna keep going. There it is. Do that. Reloading. Get into cover. Stay in cover. And that's way out of range. Shoot you. Alright, we've lost control of it. Get in. The rat shaman guides you from the doorway on the street through an eternity of winding alleys, damp sub-basements, and empty buildings. Stumbling through refuse and filth, you make your way to the sewers below Victoria Harbour. It reeks down here, but it's quiet. Gobbet stops, sniffs, and wipes her eyes with the back of her wrist. The rats speak. The rats squeak softly in the folds of her clothing. The dwarf watches her silently for a moment, then moves closer and gently takes her hand. In the dim light of the sewer, you can see that they're nearly the same age. No more than 20. 21 tops. What were their names? She keeps her head down and tells it to the floor. The troll you were talking to was Nightjar. He was our friend. The elf was called Gutshot. Kind of an asshole, but I didn't need to see his head splattered everywhere like that. She inhales a cleansing breath. Nightjar was a good guy. Always had our backs. Isabel's and mine. Isabel nods in agreement. Her voice is flat. Try to find a runner that you can actually trust. She looks to her friend. Are we clear? Gobbet looks back the way you came. I think we're shaking them. She sniffs the air. Yeah, we're clear. Boy begins pacing, his boots splashing in the sewer water, creating echoes down the tunnel. You can feel the tension coming off of him in waves. This is bullshit. I'm done messing around in alleys and sewers. I'm done running from cops. He pokes a thumb at his chest and spits his anger forth in a raspy growl. For fuck's sake, I am a cop. We noticed. There was a Lone Star sergeant dead back there. Damn it. Wu starts to choke up. He struggles against it, fighting to maintain control. But he needs a minute to recover. He finally manages to pull it together, but he's raw. When he speaks again, his voice is seething and hoarse. I don't know what the hell's going on with the Hong Kong cops, but I'm calling in some Lone Star backup from home. I'm gonna get some of my own people down here. Then we're gonna find Raymond and figure out what the hell's going on. The little orc shrugs. Whatever you say, big guy. You have fun with that. She looks over at her friend. They both nod. Iz and I are out of here. Best of luck finding your friend. He's not our friend, he's our foster father. She looks straight at you. Her tone is flat. And he's probably a dead man. Sorry, but it's the truth. Wu isn't listening. You can see on his face that he's already written the orc girl off. He pulls his security-grade PDA from its holster on his left leg, raises it and starts tapping the buttons with a meaty finger. The Lone Star logo on the back of the device looks shiny and official. He stops, confused, and then taps it again harder. Red flashing image on the PDA reflects in his goggles. What the hell? I'm locked out of the network. Thank you for the stretch, Millie. He looks up at you. My law enforcement status has been revoked. He goes back to the screen. I don't believe it. They're saying there's an EPB out on us, Anna. You and me both. I figured as much. You heard them on the loudspeaker. They knew our names. Wu glares at the wall, a storm raging across his face. Fucking hell. His hand clenches into a fist around his PDA. This just keeps getting worse. He leans forward as if to punch the wall, his knuckles rapping against it softly. Pantomime of barely constrained rage. Suddenly, he turns and slings his PDA at the far wall. It hits hard, bounces back, and clatters to the ground at his feet. He looks down at it, spent. The orc mouths an okay to herself, eyebrows raised. And on that note, I think it's time for us to say goodbye. Come on, Isabel, She's cut off by a sudden smashing noise as her friend's boot comes crashing down on the PDA at Wu's feet. The dwarf looks down at her work, unsatisfied, and brings her boot down again and again and again, until there's nothing left but a snarl of plastic housing, broken glass, and circuit board. She looks up at Wu, her chest heaving, and points at the pile of scrap she's created. Police issued. They can trace you through that. She turns to you, hand out. Yours too. It's on the network. We bury our own. You crush the PDA to shards under your foot while Isabel looks on blankly. Good. She looks over at Gobbet, sighs, and then reaches into her jacket pocket, pulling out 2 new PDAs. She hands them to you and Duncan. Bonus. I suppose it's the least we could do, after your help back there. Got any snacks in there? I'm getting a bit peckish. Isabel isn't listening. She's staring open-mouthed at her own PDA, its bluish glow illuminating her horrified expression. Gobbet, we gotta go. Right now. Isabel's voice is monotone but emphatic. She holds up her PDA to show her friend. They're after us too. Her screen displays a local newscast. Your own face stares back at you from the upper left corner of the screen. And in breaking news, just under an hour ago, Hong Kong port authorities were involved in a firefight with members of a terrorist cell linked to the mainland state of Henan. The battle left 3 terrorists dead, along with an unconfirmed number of Hong Kong police officers. Your image winks out, replaced by a scowling image of Duncan Wu, a mugshot from a long time ago, before Raymond. Our sources report that Seattle natives Duncan Wu and Anna Smith, along with their Hong Kong-based accomplices, are still at large. They are well armed and should be considered extremely dangerous. Low-res photographs of Gobbet and Isabel pop up on screen, replacing Duncan Wu. Color drains out of Gobbet's face. Oh shit. Kowloon officials report that the terror cell, known as the White Star, maintains ties to the state of Hainan, and it is purported to be receiving weapons and funding from anti-corporate groups in the UCAS, city-state of Seattle. Port authorities are standing on high alert, and the Hong Kong Police Force's Special Duties Unit has been engaged to deal with the threat. We go live now to Chief Inspector Crate of the Special Duties Unit, who will be making a statement. Behind the newscaster, a video window displays the location of your firefight in Victoria Harbour. The camera pans to Chief Inspector Crate. She is surrounded by a swarm of news reporters but appears unfazed by the attention. She speaks with supreme confidence. We have yet to ascertain the motive for tonight's attack, but it was clearly a well-planned and coordinated effort. Great sounds smooth, more like a corporate mouthpiece than a cop. We have already issued an all-points bulletin along with a kill or capture order for the 4 remaining terrorists, and I have instructed the Special Duties Unit to make this manhunt a top priority. She looks directly into the camera. If you should see one or more of these individuals, do not attempt to engage them. Instead, tap the HKPF flash code at the bottom of the screen. If you are on an authorized network and take a picture, our system will automatically identify them in your data stream. The Decker switches off the newscast and clips her PDA back onto her belt. For a moment, there is no sound but the roar of sewer water rushing through the pipes. Gobbet bends over, hands on her knees, sucking wind. Her rats scurry for a new position. I thought we were fucked before. Wu's voice is eerily calm. But now we are well and truly fucked. How bad is it? Really bad, Anna. He begins stalking back and forth, a panther in a cage. They've labeled us terrorists, and there's an APB out on us. I've heard this kind of announcement before. I know what comes with it. Doesn't matter if we have nothing to do with whatever city-state. They're gonna hunt us down. It's open season. Isabel nudges the remains of Wu's PDA with her booted toe. And the 2 of us will be hunted down right alongside you. Gobbet wide-eyes the exits, tight as a spring. You can hear shallow panting as she leans toward one. Then the other. We gotta go deep. Hit the mainland for a while until we can figure this out. Find a hole to crawl into. Gobbet looks at Isabel, wipes her mouth, and points at you and Duncan. We've got to get them off the grid too. Way off. The dwarf looks up at Duncan, and her large eyes narrow. Hey, Lone Star, you've got a security license, right? That means you've got a sin too. Wu's brow furrows. Of course I have a sin. I wouldn't be able to get paid otherwise. Only criminals and lowlifes go sinless. She runs her hand along her cyberdeck, thinking. That means you can be traced, both of you. You get spotted by a drone or a security camera, get ID'd by a retinal scanner, or try to use your cred stick or passport, and the HKPF will just know just where to find you. Wu crosses his arms across his chest. I know how a system identification number works, Runner. Leave her alone, Duncan. We're all in this together. Gobbet pulls at her dreadlocks. We're just as screwed as you are, me and Is. We were listed as your accomplices. We can't afford for you to get caught. You'll lead them to us one way or another. DNA samples, things we've told you, astral residue. I don't know, cop stuff. The little Decker looks from you to Wu, eyes narrowed, sizing you up. You can see her make a silent decision before she speaks. Her voice is flat, resigned. We need to get your sins burned. Delete you from the record books. All of them. All of them? Well, wait a minute. You want us to just erase our identities? Wu rubs a hand across his scalp. Beyond the fact that it's insane. Will that even work? If we burn our sins, go off grid like that, won't they just redouble their efforts to find us? Condescension seeps its way into Isabel's dry tone. Imagine playing a game of hide and seek with a siren strapped to your head. Would you rather try and hide with the siren, or with the siren conspicuously absent? Alright, we got ads about to start, so we'll just let the ads play out. And then that'll be... and then we'll continue on. Ads. Waiting for the ads. Alright, and we're back. Alright, let's go. Loading our identities across the entire matrix sounds hard. The little Decker nods knowingly. It's very difficult. I can't do it. Some people can. Organizations, expert systems. Gobbert's voice drops. We gotta ask for help. There's only one person we know who has the kind of pull it takes to burn us sin and hide us from the cops. Kindly Cheng. Let me guess, this Kindly Cheng is some sort of underworld hard-ass? Like a walnut. She's what's known as a straw sandal, kind of a middle manager for the Yellow Lotus Syndicate. They're triad. Kindly Cheng controls all the illegal activity in our neighborhood. Smuggling, bootlegging, counterfeiting. Middle manager? Is the Yellow Lotus a syndicate or a retail outlet? Gobbert leans in, serious as death. Do not get the wrong impression. Kindly Cheng is no bureaucrat. She controls a good-sized portion of Kowloon's underworld. She has soldiers, resources, she's smart, and she is not to be underestimated. Isabel's voice is hollow and flat. Taking favors from a woman like Kindly Cheng is a good way to get yourself into indentured servitude. You don't want to owe favors to a woman like that. Her eyes get big, round. Ideally, you don't want to deal with her at all. That was Nightjar's job. Nightjar's job? You mean you work with her? What did we just tell you? She's got her fingers in everything, including brokering Shadowruns for the corpse. Kindly Cheng is our fixer. Gilbert tries to make her voice light, confident. Just stay on her good side and you'll have nothing to worry about. Now let's get this done before one of you trips the APB and brings all hell down upon us. Alright, we're gonna finish. Scramble up the ladder and through an access way where the sewer system spits you out into the Hong Kong Mass Transit Railway system. The MTR. Crossing the rails. Crossing the rails, you climb up to the platform and into the station. Above you is Heoi, where the rat shaman and the little decker plan to plead your case to kindly Cheng, the one woman they know who can help you get underground and off the grid fast. But there'll be a price. Cheng is a triad boss whose favors tend to come with strings attached. The sounds of a waterfront at night leak down from the stairway to the surface. Peering up the steps, you can catch a glimpse of the night sky, overcast and low. The sewers deposit you into a series of mechanical accessways that eventually link to a system of railway tunnels. Gobbet leads you through 5 or 6 magnetically sealed doors and across several sets of electrified tracks until she indicates you've reached your destination. She holds up her hand, indicates the surrounding platform. This is the MTR station for Heoi. Once you go up those stairs, you'll be in our neighborhood. Kindly Cheng runs her operation out of a mahjong parlor there called Swift Winds. Wu rips off his goggles. There's an APB out on us. How do you expect us to get to the Swift Winds place without taking a bullet? Heoi is well known as a protected area. Kindly Cheng sees to that. It's a shadow community. Smugglers, hijackers, black marketeers, you get the idea. Cops tend to give that place a wide berth. Isabel gives a shallow nod. Her gaze remains planted on the floor. Voice cameras don't last long here. Between the smog and the cloud cover, we shouldn't have to worry about the drone surveillance either. The HKPF won't find you, not if you follow our lead. Gobbet widens her stance, puts her hands on her hips. Now here's how this is going to work. You can't get an audience with Cheng until we secure you an invitation. So me and Iz will go on ahead and pay our respects. Then we'll request that she see you. Politely. An invitation? How do we get that? The rat shaman smacks. We'll kiss her ass until it shines. Isabel sighs. That's about the size of it. Gobbet holds up her hand. One more thing. Kindly Cheng is a dangerous woman. She may seem friendly, but don't let your guard drop. And whatever you do, do not disrespect her. Got it. She drops her hand, nods to the 3 of you, and that's it. We'll go on ahead and smooth the way. Just give us a few minutes head start and don't talk to anyone. What if a local recognizes us from that news broadcast? Calls the cops. Gobbet smacks and shakes her head. No one in Heoi calls the cops. Doing that around here is a quick way to get dead. Thanks for the help. She squints at you confused. We're helping ourselves as much as we're helping you, Seattle. We need your sins burned as badly as you do. And we need to figure a way out of this shit. Or we're all dead. Plus, we could use the muscle right now. The voice turns sheepish. Just saying. She quickly turns away. See you at the mahjong parlor. The Shadowrunner's footsteps quickly fall away, and then you're alone with Wu. He grunts something unintelligible and begins panther stalking back and forth again. Brute prints of sewer water and muck marking his path on the subway platform behind him. Minutes pass. Wu stops his pacing and runs both hands over his face, groaning a sound of anxiety and disgust. It dissipates and he stands there silently, his hands covering his face and his shoulders shaking with emotion. Then he begins to laugh. It's a laugh that comes from down deep. From the place where fear and frustration and impotence swirl. But the barrier holds. Wu focuses, taking control of his breathing, and his laughter begins to slow. He becomes himself again. Oh my god, Anna. An aftershock of laughter shudders through him. Are you fucking kidding me? What the hell are we doing here? How did we get into this? He drops his hands and turns to you, shaking his head in disbelief. Think I'm gonna lose it. Go ahead. We're alone. Wu walks to the wall of the subway station silently. He stands there a moment lost in thought. And then his fists explode into a flurry of punches. He hits the wall hard, sending plaster crumbling to the floor at his feet. The orc breathes heavily for a moment, head down, hands on hips, spent. Carter is dead, Anna. They fucking ended her. He puts a hand to his forehead. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Sounds like she was more than just your partner. He turns to you with a blank face. More than just a partner? Of course she was. Then he gets it and his hackles raise. She was my training officer, you idiot. My mentor. Looked like you two were close. Wu waves you off with a gnarled hand. Carter was my partner. She had my back. You get how important that is, what it means to lose that. When you're out there on the streets facing down a food riot, you need to know someone's looking out for you. That you're standing next to someone you can depend on. That was Carter. His shoulders slump and he exhales heavily. She was like my compass, or my anchor, or some such shit. She kept me, I don't know, sane. You're sane, Duncan. This is shocking grief. Yeah, I suppose so. He steps back, sucking in a deep breath. Thank you for the hydrate, Millie. Screw it. Whatever she was, I'm throwing her down the memory hole. You know why? He snarls, spits. Because it doesn't matter now. Because we're gonna burn our sins, Anna. Jesus Christ, do you get what that means? The moment we do that, we're dead. To all the world, we're dead. We're wiped clean. He counts it off on his fingers. Raymond, the house we grew up in, my career, Carter, all gone. No home, no money, no identity, nothing. He waves his hand, brushes it all away. We'll be nobody. I'm gonna find a way out of this. Just follow my lead like you did in the old days. You want to bring up the old days? You fucking serious? You left the old days behind years ago. Wu's neck cranes forward, his lower jaw thrust out ahead of him. You left me behind. You left me behind. Memories flash bright. Suddenly you're back 8 years ago, on the street outside of Raymond's house. Just you and Wu. The middle of the night. You can't just leave like this, Anna. What am I gonna say to Raymond? You know how he is. Yeah, I know how he is. Inflexible. Exactly. We're breaking one of his rules just being outside of the house after curfew. What is so important that you have to run out now, in the middle of the night without even telling Raymond why? He's distraught. You can see it on his face, hear it in his voice. He used to be lost without you. I've got a friend in a bind, Duncan. That's all I can say about it. I have to go help. His eyes widen. Thought I knew all your friends. He shakes his head. I don't like this, Anna. Sounds like the kind of shit we said we'd leave behind. Look, whatever's going on, I can tell you one thing. Raymond will not approve. I'll deal with that when I get back. I won't be gone long. 2-3 days tops. You remember the look on Duncan's face as he walked away. The events that followed were a blur. One that you don't care to remember. 3 days later, you were behind bars in a private corporate prison. No interrogation, no charges, no appeal. Years later, some corporation brought some other corporation, and the new board of directors pushed through some sort of reform agenda. and the higher-ups gave an order, and then you were out, with a few hundred new yen to your name, and one scary-as-hell non-disclosure agreement ensuring your silence. Not that it mattered to you anymore. You were starting fresh, determined, until Raymond tracked you down. You left your voicemail, brought you to Hong Kong, and back together with Duncan Wu. You realize that Wu's been staring at you. Now let's hear it. Where the hell have you been all this time? Why didn't you contact me? At least to tell me you were alive. I wanted to, Duncan, but I was locked up tight. Corporate black site. No communication. No shit. He squints at you, full lie detector mode. Oh, fuck. I had no idea. A range of emotions play across Wu's face. He stares at the ground for some time before finally looking up at you with a heavy sigh. I really don't know how to process that one right now. He shakes his head. I don't know. If we're still alive tomorrow, we can talk more. This shit is too much. We're marooned on this island, hunted by the cops. My partner is dead. Raymond is missing. And we're about to go see a crime lord about erasing our goddamned identities. And as a bonus, our only allies are a pair of tiny criminals who would kill us if they could so they didn't have to deal with this. He rubs his head viciously. Listen, Anna. Back in the Barrens, whenever I was out of control, you just handled the situation, remember? With Carter gone, I'm just a raw nerve. I'm afraid I'm gonna slip back. People are gonna start getting hurt again. I got you back, Duncan. He stares at you hard, like he's trying to see something inside your head. His voice comes out flat. We'll see. Just don't press it. I need time to get used to you. Now let's go meet that triad woman and get our damn sins burned. I want to rip off the bandage as fast as I can. Alright. That's where we're going to save and finish up for today. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. We'll return back to Shadowrun Hong Kong tomorrow. I couldn't do a particular long stream today because I had other commitments earlier. Later tonight I will be back with some more My Time at Sandrock, which is actually getting somewhere. What else? And that's about it. This is going to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what the future of this game has. Yeah, so let's go raid somebody. Go to raid. It's been a while. Let's go say hi. Alright, take care of yourselves, everybody. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. I will be back again later tonight. Like I said, with My Time at Sandrock. And yeah, we'll be back with Shadowrun Hong Kong tomorrow. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Stay safe. Stay happy, stay healthy. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.